right, we'll have our call to order for the Borough Council regular meeting for March 20th, 2024.
President Ferguson,
Here.
Vice President Gerard,
Here.
Councilmember Burns,
Here.
Councilmember Fagan,
Here.
Councilmember Cresser,
Here.
Mayor Gerard,
Here.
Junior Councilperson Weeder,
Here.
Borough Manager Snyder,
Here.
Borough Solicitor Harper.
Here.
All right, let's stand to our pledge of allegiance. Isn't it one for communication this week? Okay. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Madam Mayor, will you do our invocation?
I would ask us just to have a moment of silence and think about what we will be doing tonight, and hopefully we will be granted wisdom and understanding. Amen.
All right. Apologies, I didn't really talk to anyone ahead of time for that, so.
Sometimes the mayor's done it in the past, but we can decide moving forward who will permanently be doing it. Ada would like to try.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good if we alternate it around, if different people want to do it, or if anyone doesn't want to do it, so. All right.
Fine with me.
See, Larry, you left us with a gap, my friend. All right, so we'll start with item 1, approval of the meeting agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda for the March 2024 regular meeting?
To move.
Second.
I get a motion from Councilwoman Cresser, a second from Councilman Gerard. Any questions, changes, or amendments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. All right, item 2, approval of the minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the February 7th, 2024 workshop meeting and the February 21st, 2024 regular meeting?
To move.
Second.
I get a motion from Councilwoman Cresser, a second from Councilman Gerard. Are there any questions, changes, or amendments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. All right, item 3, public input. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak? If so, please step up to the podium, make sure the mic is on, and state your name and address and the reason for addressing council tonight. Okay. I would like to know we have Representative Malagari in our audience today. All right, let's go to item 4, announcements.
Next council meeting is April 3rd workshop and April 17th regular meeting at 7 p.m. in council chambers. The planning commission is scheduled to meet on Monday, March 25th at 6 p.m. in council chambers. The Hatfield Museum Historical Society is scheduled to meet Tuesday, March 26th at 7 p.m. in council chambers. PEROC is scheduled to meet Wednesday, March 27th at 8 a.m. in council chambers. The zoning hearing board is scheduled to meet Wednesday, March 27th at 7 p.m. in council chambers to hear the application of Arbor Grove Development LLC. The Hatfield Borough offices will be closed March 29th in observance of the Good Friday holiday. There's a community survey that's available online and at the borough office. Responses are due back by April 12th. If you come in, you can pick up one of these QR codes, scan it, takes you right to the community survey. There's a lot of questions looking for some good feedback. I believe thus far, we just opened it last week. We have 7% of the borough that's participated, which Steve said 10% is actually really good. So thus far 7, I think we're on a good track. And lastly, I did want to remind everyone that the borough office will be closed on Wednesday, March 27th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. for public safety training.
Can we offer some borough gear to get people to sign up? You know, as a raffle, you know, if you fill out the survey, you can have a borough hat or something, some of the gear we have, maybe to get more people.
Yeah, Lindsay and I kind of were discussing, is there like incentives or things we can do or something, you know, if whoever, but the surveys are anonymous. So
Yeah, sure.
yeah, so we were like, oh, we would love to be, hey, everyone that does the surveys entered to win like whatever the, you know, gift would be, but we're like, oh, well, it should be anonymous. So how would we give somebody that? But we were trying to brainstorm to get people to be involved because it's really important. This is going to shape our community moving forward. It's going to be the basis of our comprehensive plan that we're working with the Montgomery County Planning Commission. So it's really important to fill out the survey, and then like we've spoken about, the results will be gone over in detail at the town hall meeting in May.
Right, okay. Before we get to the public hearing, Representative Malagari, would you like to speak to the community? It's up to you. It's your-
Here to make a presentation.
Okay, all right. Okay. All right, item 5, public hearing on ordinance number 552, amending the provisions of chapter 18 sewers and sewage disposal, part 3 waste discharge regulations, section 314 discharge of processed wastewater of the Code of Ordinances, Borough of Hatfield, to revise the permissible discharge limits and to permit revisions of the regulations by resolution. Wow, it's a lot to read.
Wow, that is a lot.
It's okay.
Would you like me to take over and enter? a few
Yes,
exhibits?
please,
Okay.
Madam Solicitor.
As per council knows, we were notified by the Hatfield Township Municipal Authority, which handles our sewer downstream and has the plant, that they have a new requirement for basically industrial regulations. It really doesn't affect the average citizen in Hatfield, but they require us to keep our regulations updated to match their regulations because they're our treatment plant. So the ordinance that you have in front of you tonight, 552, for which we are doing a hearing now, adopts their new regulations for industrial waste. And I believe we only have one user in the borough that actually uses that provision. And they've been notified about this and are aware of it. So marking exhibits, Borough 1 is proof that we advertised tonight's hearing because it is an ordinance. It requires 1 week of advertising, and we did that. Borough 2 is a copy of the ordinance, which will be called 552, if and when you adopt it tonight, which will update the regulations. But the other thing it does, because this happens periodically, is that this ordinance also says the next time we have to update the regulations, you could do it by resolution. That will save you time and money because you won't have to advertise a resolution. Still do it in public, of course, but you don't have the obligations that come along with an ordinance. So that's why that's a long description. We're adopting their regulations, and we're also changing it. So in the future, if they ask us to change the regulations again, you guys can just do it by a resolution, okay?
Nope.
So B2 is the ordinance itself, and B3 is the letter from Hatfield Township Municipal Authority, basically telling you that they're changing their regulations, and it has their resolution and the regulations attached to it. So those are all the exhibits. Does any member for our council have questions about the ordinance?
I do have one question. How often does the EPA change these requirements? Is it on a 2-year basis, a 4-year basis, or as?
I don't think they have a regular basis, but in my experience, it's about 4 or 5 years. Jamie, would you say the same?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, because the last time we did a revision to this was 2014. So that was
Okay,
longer,
so
but then
it's
we had
even longer.
COVID, which,
Right, slowed everything down.
yes. So I don't know the correct answer either, but I would assume that, and the
Right.
last time we did it was 2014.
And the sewer plant is under regulation of DEP always. And if there's an issue, DEP comes out, and even if there isn't, they check it every few years to make sure it's handling things okay. So it could change again, but it doesn't change very often. My recollection is like 5 years or 10 years, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
And what business does it impact in the borough?
When the authority told us that only one user in the borough actually uses these things in their processes, and therefore they run out, through the sewage.
Okay.
And Jamie notified them, and they don't seem to be concerned, right?
Correct.
So I think we're good. Now, we also have to ask during a hearing whether there's any public comment on the scintillating topic. Maybe if we gave away t-shirts.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, so then, unless there's any other questions or comments from council, we can close the hearing. And this is on for action later this evening.
Any more questions? I'd say we're close.
Okay, I'm gonna ask, because we don't have a transcript from tonight, I am gonna ask that these exhibits be made part of, the borough's file and that be recited in the minutes that we had this thing, the proof of publication one, okay? Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Representing another area when you go into your business.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. Okay.
Good go with that.
Yeah. All right, item 6, new business. Like to turn it over to Representative Malagari for his presentation.
Good evening, members of council, Madam Mayor. It's great to see so many faces again. Great to be back in the borough of Hatfield. Literally just getting back in from Harrisburg, week of session, and here to celebrate a longtime public servant and an individual who deserves recognition, Larry Stevens. So Larry, I'm going to ask you to come on up here. So we had a citation prepared and made for upon his retirement from the council, and I wanted to read that for you and also allow for Larry to say a couple words if he wanted to. But first off, before I get into this, I remember meeting Larry. The first time may have been in one of these arenas here, but I really do remember from the history museum and getting that project up and going and making sure that we toured through it, did the ribbon cutting and all sorts of things. And it's really great to see that your public service will continue through the Historical Society and the museum there. And I really do appreciate everything you've done for Hatfield Borough. I think it's important to recognize you. So, whereas the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is always proud and happy to celebrate excellence in the pursuit of bettering our communities, and whereas Larry Stevens has demonstrated a deep commitment to serving Hatfield Borough that has spanned decades and involved a wide range of roles and responsibilities, and whereas a longtime member of the Hatfield Chamber of Commerce, he served as its treasurer for over 30 years, and as its executive director for 15. He's also chairman of the Hatfield Economic Revitalization Committee and a life member of the Hatfield Volunteer Fire Company, and whereas his connection and affection for his community also prompted him to found the Hatfield Museum and History Society, an organization for which he currently serves as president. And whereas he was first appointed to Hatfield Borough Council in 1992, he has served as chairman of the Property and Equipment Committee, as a member of the Public Works Committee, and as a member of the Borough's Planning Commission. Now, therefore, the House of Representatives of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania recognizes the dedicated and exceptional service of Larry Stevens. Congratulations, and I'm hoping that your retirement is treating you very, very well.
Maybe they moved over.
Yeah. Or do you guys want to get a picture over here with?
Yeah, the light.
Right here.
I always like this is the background. That's pretty cool.
It has his name on it, right? 1, 2, 3.
That's what did you get?
Yeah, I got the name. Looks good.
Yeah. The bird eye.
Hey, do we have, there's some,
Maybe a
Oh,
paper
good.
cut.
Okay, we know where that will be.
Paper cut. We'll say a couple words.
No,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you, Steve. We don't need to call hazmat or anything, do we? So. All right, thank you. And thank you, Larry, for your years and years of service. I know I've said it many times, but it's really appreciated, so. All right, we'll go on to item 7, old business. Item A, utility replacement project tentative schedule advertising.
Well, I can't think of a better night for this to be on the agenda, to move this project forward, to advertise for consideration, the utility replacement project for Broad Street and North Main Street, as Rep. Malagari's here, because him and Senator Klett were huge proponents of this project with the grant fund. So it's just fitting that you're here tonight and we're actually moving this project forward. So this is on for consideration as an action item to advertise this to go out to bid. And included in the packets is the tentative schedule, hoping to get the last bit of that information to PennDOT, close up the HOP permit, move on from that and put it out to bid in April. So looking forward to it.
Question?
Yeah.
I see that the bid is open on the 30th and then it's awarded on the 15th. The turnaround time is just 2 weeks on that.
Yeah, so they, when we open the bid, we just have to check and make sure that, everybody's, like, the documents that they turn in, like, well, Chad will check, give it to Kate, and they make sure their references and everything is taken care of, and then we would, like, award it, issue to, like, a notice to proceed. So, yeah, it really depends on the documents that are submitted by those who bid, to make sure they have all their bonds in place, their references check out, and that's, a couple busy weeks for the solicitor and the engineer.
The engineer actually does most of the work. He has a checklist of what they're supposed to submit. If they don't submit, they're not even on the list to be awarded. So,
Okay, I just
Yeah.
thought the turnaround time was very quick.
Well,
for a
it's
project that size.
the opening, so the bids have already been submitted and they open them all at the same time. So
Well,
when you
yeah,
say the
that-
opening,
But
so,
the bid's open and then it's awarded
Mhm.
too. Okay, so yeah, I'm familiar with that. I
Oh,
work
yeah,
in the
yeah,
school
okay.
district. So I know that they have to all be open at the same time. They only can be open at that time.
Hmm.
If somebody inadvertently opens it, that's,
right,
That's
okay, I
fine.
see, yeah, yeah.
okay, I was
Okay.
just curious.
All right. Any other questions? If not, we'll go to item B, the Hatfield American Legion Memorial Day Parade request.
This is a request from the Hatfield American Legion Post 933 to hold their annual Memorial Day ceremony in Memorial Park, and it's on for consideration as an action item.
Any questions? Are we participating in that?
Yeah, so I just need to know if who is available to walk and if you would like to walk. And then we'll have candy and a vehicle. So you just have to let me know so I can let them know. And I can also ask if anyone, they would like anyone to speak at the Legion afterwards.
Right.
If anyone's available, I will let them know if you're interested.
We'll have enough candy this time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, slow down.
We were distributing it too fast last time, right? So- All right, any questions?
I have one more question, and this is not related to what's on here, but in addition, one of my neighbors approached about what the current status is of the repaving on Jean, Jade, and School Street. Do you have any idea when that's anticipated to start this year?
Yeah, so at the April workshop meeting, it will be on for discussion. At the April regular meeting, you will authorize to advertise that to go out to bid. Then we will put that out to bid, and the completion date for that project is prior to school starting this year. So the project has to be completed by August 28th of 2024. So that's the timeline. So it'll be in, the schedule will be included in the next packet, but that's a rough timeline that it will be this summer. And then our requirement for the contractors to have it completed by August 28th when school starts.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we'll go to item C, resolution 2024-03, the Memorial Day Parade Road Closure Request.
This resolution is in partnership with the request from the Hatfield American Legion. This just allows Hatfield Borough to close any roads that are needed for the Memorial Day Parade. This is on for consideration as an action item as well this evening.
Any questions? If not, we'll conclude with the old business and we'll go on to action items. Action item A, motion to consider ordinance 552, amending the provisions of chapter 18, Sewers and Sewer Disposal, Part 3, Waste Discharge Regulations, Section 314, Discharge of Disposed Wastewater of the Code of Ordinances, Borough of Hatfield, to revise permissible discharge limits and to permit the resolution to these regulations, to permit revisions to these regulations by resolution. Can I get a motion?
Motion. Second.
I get a motion from Councilman Burns, a second from Councilman Gerard. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item B, motion to consider advertising the Broad Street and North Main Street utility replacement project for bid.
So moved.
Second.
I got a motion from Councilman Cressler, a second from Councilman Burns. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. All right, item C, motion to consider Hatfield American Legion request to hold the annual Memorial Day parade and parade ceremony at Memorial Park.
So moved.
Second.
I got a motion from Councilman Fagan, a second from Councilman Cressler. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. All right, last motion. Item D, motion to consider resolution 2024-03, authorizing the closure of certain borough roads for the Hatfield American Legion Memorial Day Parade.
Motion.
I get a motion from Councilman Cressler, a second from Councilman Burns. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. All right, item 9, motion to approve payment of the bills.
So moved. Second.
I got a motion from Councilman Gerard, a second from Councilman Burns. Any questions or comments on the bills?
I will add, as we spoke last meeting, you'll see the fourth quarter HTMA bill is on this. So the third quarter was last month, fourth quarter this month. Or last, I guess the last meeting in February, the regular meeting.
You did warn us, just thank you.
Yes, yeah, it's on there. And the backhoe payment is on there, so Steve's happy.
All right. So I got a motion from Councilman Gerard, a second from Councilman Burns. No other questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. We will have an executive session. Can I get a motion to adjourn for our executive session?
Second.
I got a motion from Councilman Cressler, a second from Councilman Fagan. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you, everyone. Meeting is adjourned.